Hey guys, it's Ara. I'm a therapist and a mindset coach, and my mission is to help you regain healthy mindset mentally, physically, and emotionally because that's the only way you can perform optimally in all areas of your life. And I say regain here because you've always had it. We were all born with a healthy mindset, but that gets broken down and lost because of all the different types of conditioning that we receive throughout our lives, especially in childhood. And so today I want to talk to you about self worth, self image, and confidence because they're all intertwined together. So, have you ever thought about what is your level of confidence or self worth? How do you view yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? And how do you even talk to yourself? Um, Unfortunately, most people have such a poor view of themselves, and they're very quick to judge and criticize and hate on themselves as if they're their own enemies, right? Um, I think that we don't realize how harsh we are to ourselves, the words that we use, the gestures we make, the thoughts that we create, and your feelings. Excuse me, your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your action, and your action determines the quality of your life. And so when you are, having a very poor judgment of who you are, then, because you're not happy with yourself, you're going to try so hard to um, fill that void or to validate from other things outside of you. So, for example, I had such a bad negative view of myself growing up. One story that comes up to my mind is, when I was little, about maybe 9 years old, uh, my biggest dream was to be a gymnast. And so I begged my mom for a long time to get me into a gymnastics class, and she finally did. And I was so happy. I went in my first class with a leotard, and and then found myself looking a little bit chubbier than the other girls. So I went home and told my mom about my observation, and she told me that I am naturally big boned, that my legs are thick because of that. Also, because I am short, and short people can look thicker when they are big boned, and there's nothing that I can do about it, so I should just accept it and move on. But as a 9-year-old girl, hearing that from my mom, who I loved and looked up to, um, made a big impact on me. And of course, my mom said that so that she can give me a concrete reason so that I could just accept it and move on. She didn't really think too much about it. But for me, it was a very hurtful thing to hear because, just like any other girls, I wanted to look pretty, especially when my skin is showing. And the fact that I looked chubbier and thicker than the other girls in class, I just felt very, very unattractive. So, I can easily say that that was the beginning of me experiencing body dysmorphia because I became so obsessive with the way I look and how much I wanted to fix the way I look that it just consumed me. And whatever you focus on, it expands and you get more of that. And so, because my focus was all on how thick I looked and how ugly I saw myself, anytime I looked at myself in the mirror, what reflected back at me was literally an ugly elephant that doesn't look good in anything. And I just hated myself for that. Even when I looked at my face, I did not like my nose. I felt like my nose was too big for my face, and that was all I can see. And so, again, when I mentioned this to my mom, she said that culturally speaking, having a big nose is a sign of big fortune and that I should be grateful. Um, but what does a 9-year-old care about fortune, right? So for me, that didn't help at all, and I just wanted to, cut my nose off or shave it down so that it'll be pointier, slimmer, prettier. And so, throughout my life, all the way up until just a few years ago, I had this total distortion of my self-image. I did not like taking pictures, especially when other people take it. At least when I took my own picture, I can, control the angle and stuff like that. But I just try my best to avoid other people taking pictures of me. And if they did, I tried my hardest to be covered, maybe behind somebody or something, or I try to just not show my whole body as much as I can. And, it it was definitely not fun, and it was a long-lasting torture, I would say. And the funny part is that nobody knew this, because on the outside, I looked so confident, and I looked like I was so proud of myself and the way I looked, and just nobody knew what I was going through on the inside. And I didn't want to show it, right? It was a shameful and embarrassing thing that I never wanted to express that out to other people. So I say this to say that when you have a very poor, level of self-worth, it just totally diminishes your confidence. And then you'll start to make poor choices, to either fill that void or to, get some validation, right? I did that through, having relationship after relationships, trying to validate myself through men. And, I also got very addicted to shopping and, drinking. I mean, I've tried everything, right? And, back then, I thought I was just doing it for fun, out of curiosity, out to, fit in with the group of people that I was hanging out with. Maybe just wanted to be in a relationship because it's romantic, it's butterflies in your stomach. But really, the true reason underlying all of that was because I was trying to fill a void. I was trying to make myself feel better, to either numb up the pain that I was feeling inside, or to distract myself, or to just ignore the whole situation, right? So I would just shop all the time, buy little things that I just did not need, did not like all, too much, but I would still buy it just for the sake of buying it. And I would just pile on all this little junk that just wasn't necessary for me to have. And then I also became very attached to eating, and I would eat a lot, and then I would eat often. I mean, during meal times, I would pile up my plate with a lot of food, and it was a lot more than I could eat, but I would just force myself to eat all of it. And then after I was done eating, I always just thought about food. Like, what can I snack on? And even while I'm snacking, what am I going to eat later? And I was just totally consumed by all of that. It was truly an addiction. And then at the same time, that made me hate myself even more, because the more I ate, I knew that would, make me get bigger and uglier. And it was a mess. So it just took me a long time and a lot of excruciating, deep inner work for me to overcome the illusion that I was experiencing. And I had to work really hard to unveil, my true identity. to see myself as really who I am. And really learn to love myself, to say nice things to myself as I do with other people that I care about. And that has made such a big transformation for me and the quality of my life. And looking back, I'm just astounded how much I hated myself before. And if you are going through something like this, if you are, in a place where you don't like yourself and you wish you were somebody else or something else, and then you keep looking for other things outside of you to, fill that void, then I want to tell you that you are so worth being happy, having a good quality of life, and you are so enough. You are loved, and you deserve everything good in life. But the only thing that's going to change is how you think about yourself. And I want you to really take a moment to do some hard self-evaluation, some really uncomfortable self-reflection. Stop the distractions, right? We look for all these distractions, social media, text messaging, Netflix, food, drugs, alcohol, shopping. I mean, there's so many things to distract yourself with. But the more you distract yourself with all this kind of things, the less you're going to have space in your mind for you to really think, right? I mean, think about it. When you are distracting yourself, are you really thinking? Not really. Not clear thinking anyway. You're influenced by everything that you do. So I want you to put down all the distractions, go in your room or the closet, anywhere that's quiet, without your phone, without your laptop, without your iPad, and just sit there in total silence. And, take some deep breaths, clear your mind, quiet your mind. And then when everything is peaceful, when everything is quiet, I want you to ask yourself, why do I feel this way about myself? How did this start? What triggered it? And then just stay quiet, no thoughts. And you'll be surprised that your mind will give you the answers that you asked. When we ask the right questions, we can change the quality of our lives instead of asking questions that diminish your self-esteem, like, why am I ugly? Why am I gaining weight? Why am I so stupid? Ask questions like, how can I make this better? How can I improve myself? What is causing me to do such and such? Ask constructive, positive, helpful questions. And when you are in that quiet space, your mind will start to show you those answers either by a feeling or even a quick image. And maybe this won't happen the first time you try. For some people, it does, and for some, you just have to keep doing it, several times until you really see it and feel the effects. So try that out and see how that works out for you. Just know that when you give yourself as much attention as you give to other things, you'll be very surprised at how intelligent and how resourceful you can be. So I'll leave it at that for today's video. I apologize if I rambled on a little bit, but leave me your comments, thoughts, and even questions below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know if you want me to talk about anything else in the future. And I'll see you guys again next time. Thanks for watching.